If you're interested in American history and politics, then you won't want to miss learning about the New Jersey Plan and Hamilton's Plan. These two plans were proposed during the drafting of the United States Constitution and were key in shaping the structure of our government. The New Jersey Plan, put forth by small states, emphasized equal representation for all states in Congress, while Hamilton's plan, favored by larger states, called for a strong central government with a bicameral legislature. These plans ultimately led to compromises that laid the foundation for our current system of government. Understanding these plans is essential to understanding the principles that underpin American democracy. Before going to the details, make sure to subscribe our channel for more valuable videos. This nationalist position revolted many delegates who cringed at the vision of a central government swallowing state sovereignty. On June 13, delegates from smaller states rallied around proposals offered by New Jersey delegate William Patterson. Railing against efforts to throw the states into hodgepodge, Patterson proposed a union of the states merely federal. The New Jersey resolutions called only for a revision of the articles to enable the Congress more easily to raise revenues and regulate commerce. It also provided that acts of Congress and ratified treaties be the supreme law of the states. For 3 days the convention debated Patterson's plan, finally voting for rejection. With the defeat of the New Jersey resolutions, the convention was moving toward creation of a new government, much to the dismay of many small state delegates. The nationalists, led by Madison, appeared to have the proceedings in their grip. In addition, they were able to persuade the members that any new constitution should be ratified through conventions of the people and not by the Congress and the state legislatures, another tactical coup. Madison and his allies believed that the constitution they had in mind would likely be scuttled in the legislatures, where many state political leaders stood to lose power. The nationalists wanted to bring the issue before the people, where ratification was more likely. On June 18, Alexander Hamilton presented his own ideal plan of government. Erudite and polished, the speech, nevertheless, failed to win a following. It went too far. Calling the British government the best in the world, Hamilton proposed a model strikingly similar: an executive to serve during good behavior or life with veto power over all laws, a Senate with members serving during good behavior, the legislature to have power to pass all laws whatsoever. Hamilton later wrote to Washington that the people were now willing to accept something not very remote from that which they have lately quitted. What the people had lately quitted, of course, was monarchy. Some members of the convention fully expected the country to turn in this direction. Hugh Williamson of North Carolina, a wealthy physician, declared that it was pretty certain that we should at some time or other have a king. Newspaper accounts appeared in the summer of 1787 alleging that a plot was underway to invite the second son of George III, Frederick, Duke of York, the secular Bishop of Osnaburg in Prussia, to become King of the United States. Alexander Hamilton on June 18 called the British government the best in the world, and proposed a model strikingly similar. The erudite New Yorker, however, later became one of the most ardent spokesmen for the new constitution. Strongly militating against any serious attempt to establish monarchy was the enmity so prevalent in the Revolutionary period toward royalty and the privileged classes. Some state constitutions had even prohibited titles of nobility. In the same year as the Philadelphia Convention, Royal Tyler, a Revolutionary War veteran, in his play The Contract, gave his own jaundiced view of the upper classes. Exult each patriot heart. This night is shown a peace, which we may fairly call our own, where the proud titles of, my lord, your grace, to humble Mr. and plain sir give place. Most delegates were well aware that there were too many Royal Tylers in the country, with too many memories of British rule and too many ties to a recent bloody war, to accept a king. As the debate moved into the specifics of the new government, Alexander Hamilton and others of his persuasion would have to accept something less. By the end of June, debate between the large and small states over the issue of representation in the first chamber of the legislature was becoming increasingly acrimonious. Delegates from Virginia and other large states demanded that voting in Congress be according to population. Representatives of smaller states insisted upon the equality they had enjoyed under the Articles. With the oratory degenerating into threats and accusations, Benjamin Franklin appealed for daily prayers. Dressed in his customary gray homespun, the aged philosopher pleaded that, the Father of Lights, illuminate our understandings. Franklin's appeal for prayers was never fulfilled. The convention, as Hugh Williamson noted, had no funds to pay a preacher. On June 29, the delegates from the small states lost the first battle. The convention approved a resolution establishing population as the basis for representation in the House of Representatives, thus favoring the larger states. On a subsequent small state proposal that the states have equal representation in the Senate, the vote resulted in a tie. With large state delegates unwilling to compromise on this issue, one member thought that the convention was on the verge of dissolution, scarce held together by the strength of an hair. By July 10, George Washington was so frustrated over the deadlock that he bemoaned having had any agency in the proceedings and called the opponents of a strong central government narrow-minded politicians. Under the influence of local views, Luther Martin of Maryland, perhaps one whom Washington saw as narrow-minded, thought otherwise. A tiger in debate, not content merely to parry an opponent's argument but determined to bludgeon it into eternal rest, Martin had become perhaps the small state's most effective, if irascible, orator. The Marylander leapt eagerly into the battle on the representation issue, declaring, "The states have a right to an equality of representation. This is secured to us by our present Articles of Confederation. We are in possession of this privilege." Please subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.